you are here with me. Basically talking all about the intuitions followed by the silent. Let's talk about silence first. The patterns, you see the certain patterns, you see the certain codes, certain dots over the fur of deer. You see, wild deer, small dots, stripes over the fur of the deers. It means in the whole body you see the dots, and that's an unusual pattern that makes somebody silent, and that makes you observant. Your mind explores into the deeper level of reality and understanding, so you became unspeakable. You never know the meaning of silence until unless you see the importance of keeping silence. Let's see the moment when we keep silent. If somebody official ordinations take place, if there is official appointment given for you, you are going there, and there's still somebody waiting for you, they supposed to remain silent. Silence means there's no other implications of your ideas or project, especially tasks that has not to be carried. You see, silence is the kind of situation in which you became unspeakable for the moment, so that you can bring further intuitions. You see, what is intuition then? Let me remind you, intuition is silence. Silence is intuition. For example, the intuition brings something into your heart that keeps you silent, and you are entering into the intuition so that you are silent. There's two purposes of becoming silent around the world. You see, invention, mega business, entrepreneurship. You see the highlighting achievements that loads the lurking eyes. Lurking. If you are with the lurking eyes, if you do have lurking eyes, and if you focus on something, you can never stop yourself to become silent. I said not to progress. I said I'm not supposed to say progress not, but I need to especially talk of these things for making you aware about the consequences of noisy environment. You see, noisy sounds doesn't help you understand the restriction point, and silence only helps you to determine the things of notifications, where you have to subscribe, navigating the different spiritual realm. You cannot stand in the same or constant situation for the long time. For your moods are hovering, your spirit are hovering in physical realm. Sometimes your eyes are greedy enough. Your eyes are laden with the earthly pleasure. You may not sense the purpose into the life. You may not sense your feelings are real you. You will lose yourself if you not remain silent. Silent is some sort of state in which you are supposed to wait for the confirmation. You are supposed to receive the miracle. You can see so many videos today, so many talk shows, so many podcasts. These are highly sophisticated, highly corrected in those measures which can measure and analyze and are based on the content, ready-made content. You see, ready-made content means there is certain level of criteria, and those criteria are guided by certain circumstances. There's already some sort of syllabus or curriculum design on those topics, and those topics doesn't claim the copyright. Rather you are plagiarized. You are promoted for plagiarize. Plagiarism begins where you don't remain silent. Noisy environments, copying somebody's things. You see, road loadings taking place with the pet parrot. These road loadings makes them to imitate the sounds and frequently makes noises. Those noises are not source intimately coming from the heart, but rather those are the perception that is contemporary perception. They might not be accurately relying on the environment, situation, or the mood. Based on the talk show, based on the perceptions, based on those achievements you have achieved. Basically, those things takes place during a time of noisy environments, movement time, so much noise that you may not know the right things, right purpose. Sometimes you lose your trace. You lose your track. The track that goes beyond your understanding of superficial circumstances. Because of noisy environment. Noisy environment is predominant for this physical world, provides certain word for you. These are fake. These are fake. That's not you speaking in the podcast, but the majority, you are anchored by the speakers. You are guided by the syllabus. And you will be appreciated for these things. Though they do have no level of understanding. They are totally subjective. Anchors today in these generations are subjectives. And these anchors only perceive the physical things. They don't go to explore into the deeper level of facts. That's important for the life. They may not go to the level of understanding which is essential. Rather, they go in a noisy environment. Noise doesn't determine by the nature. Noises that doesn't determine by the nature, rather man-made sound. These natural sounds have healing power. For natural sounds are not noises. Though it's a downpour, it's a drizzling, such a wild blister splashing sounds during the time of rainfall that doesn't make noise. Rather, it gives musical order and patterns for the conformations of the sounds. Conformations of voice. You see, when people was driven by the Saint Moses, during that time there was a daylight covered with the cloud. They didn't feel the hotness. Rather, they was totally facilitated the cool environment. Whereas at the night, they did not feel coldness. They did not feel a coldness. For coldness wasn't of the environment. Coldness was of the enemy. Coldness was of the feelings of insecurity. Now in this today's generation, you might not be much more curious about the increment in the temperature while drinking wine. When your body receives certain alcoholic portion, that time you may feel hot, but exactly the environment is hotter than the body. That's why you feel something cold. So that many people are dying due to not knowing the scientific facts of feeling cold. People challenges the environment or the seasons of weather. For adapting environment, they take help of alcohol. Mostly people drink alcohol during the time of cold season, cold weather conditions. They are challenging to the weather or coldness. But the situations, you see, these people are frozen after drinking alcohol. They won't receive comfort. They won't receive the reliable hotness in the body, but the kind of illusion. Every people in the world, you see, the physical perceptions are wrong. Every persons are running after social media and invention of AI, invention and finding better positions. That's the totally fake. That's the totally fake purpose. Your purpose is not rushing after the material things. You need to rush after the givers of the material things. You can't receive complete production or product until and unless you go to contact with the producers of manufacturers company. These devices are built by somebody. You see, these are the greatest inventors, but exactly they aren't inventors. They are manufacturers. They are the machines. These machines, these computer systems are assembled. Their hands as a computing system, they assemble those things. The mind and understanding using those things for assembling things, those are manufacturing companies. exactly, though they get higher name and fame, ratings of the name and brandings, they are manufacturer this company, this product, this invention, that invention. That's totally fake. Liar! So these things are outcomes of intuition. That's why go to silence first. Don't rush up after the product company manufactures factories. Rather, you try to contact with the owners of this factory, owners of this company. That means somebody invisible beings has been providing that sort of gift to manufacture those things or invention, so it became the invention for the world. You need to understand three dimensions in the genesis of those things. Basically, metaphysical perception is important. Metaphysical perception is something, those are the ideas, coolest idea that struck into the brain as the intuitions. That struck into the brain as a knowledge and understanding stored in the brain, but that has been driven through the heart as the intuitions. Intuition is something spoken into your heart. So, after going to this silence, after you go into this silence, people are rushing after the product, but you need to rush after the pattern. Patterns does have the silent interpretations. The silent interpretation evokes some sort of feeling that brings the intuition into your heart. The intuition is the real fact of discovery. You see, little boy's name James Watt was right there. James was standing right there at the kitchen while his parents, his father was talking with the guest. Time was precious enough. What was given as an assignment by his father was to look over the boiling kettles. So there was the preparation time. That was the preparation time of tea for the guest. Guest was already right there in the guest room, and the little boy James Watt was standing there for waiting. By hearing the perception, it was total understanding. He was accurately doing. In the physical term, looking over the tea is to not let it to come out of the lid. It means it has to be stopped from being spoiled from the kettle. So accurate physical tasks, especially if you are spectators. If you are spectators, you are supposed to see the conditions of boilings. If it is over boiling, you need to turn off the gas stove. Did you get what I mean is? I mean the physically one of the tasks as assigned by the father of James Watt. But in the intuition, he heard something more than the physical understanding. Beyond the physical level, he understood something has to happen, that is supragenesis, supra-discovery, supra-inspection. Inspecting things physically is a physical part, but in the metaphysical part, that is assignment was given to the James Watt. It wasn't the task of his father that was given, but it was the assignment before he was created. For the invention he was born, so that his task was to see over the boiling pots. That was the pattern in the silent. Pattern in the silent. People around the world who still remain silent to hear the voices of intuition, and the discovery took place. Brother and sister in Christ all around the world, today, if you are hovering over the world, trying to find your purpose into the life, and you are trying to receive some sort of discovery, don't go on talking, don't go on making noises and cracking jokes. For these things, whatever discovery has taken place, that was not due to the noise, the patterns that they met that was similar in the physical, surfacial, or the general perspective, but it was the assignment or task beyond the level of metaphysical perception. So that you need to understand supragenesis and the supragenealogy that has to come after the physical invention, and you need to go on a metagenesis. What was the plan? What was the purpose to introduce this invention? You see, physically, some sort of social media has been published. This social media has been totally institutionalized around the globe. These are the physical part. In the metaphysical part, if it wasn't completely done, the purpose of metaphysical part, metagenesis part, now these things will be collapsed. For these things cannot match the needs of people. These things cannot match the purpose of God. So you cannot institutionalize those things. So that you need to understand the intuitions behind the silence and everything. God bless you. Shalom.